I'm Steve Wilson, Managing Partner of Sound Money. I have with me today Steve Baker, Conservative MP for Wickham, co-founder of the Cobden Centre, an academic think tank for honest money. Steve, delighted to have you here this evening.
Likewise, Steve.
Can you tell me what prompted you to be a co-founder and set up the Cobden Centre?
Well, I decided to get into politics because I was absolutely frustrated with politicians, the political process and what was going on in the world. I'd left the Air Force in '99 to get into software. I was taking an MSc in computer science when the bust happened. And I was looking around for an explanation of why everyone had got things so wrong all at once. And I discovered the monetary theory of the trade cycle, that basically interest rates too low for too long creates artificial structures in the economy which are bound to collapse in a bust, in a nutshell. But I parked it because I thought if this was useful, or in any sense true, then politicians and economists would change the system of money and banking to eliminate what's an obvious source of injustice, impoverishment, capital consumption, and really all-round human suffering, not to mention the waste of natural resources. So I parked it. I then found myself watching what was happening in the economy after 2000, including as a software engineer at a major bank, at Lehman Brothers, watching record profits coming in to suddenly it collapsed. I was there as a contractor, and one minute they wanted to hire me and give me a third big program, and the next it was all over. So in the course of that, I decided to go for Parliament, and I was just so frustrated by the poor standard of debate that I sought out the UK's best Austrians. I met Toby Baxendale and Anthony Evans. Anthony's an academic, Toby an entrepreneur, and said to them, look, let's have an Austrian school think tank. Toby had this idea for the Cobden Centre, so we came together and co-founded the Cobden Centre to try and get some of these ideas out in the public space.
That's excellent. What do you see as happening now in terms of changing opinions, changing ideas, and making a significant progress in your views and your objectives? How do you see this?
Well, right now I know that I am something of an outlier. I'm a kind of strict classical liberal. There's always been a Whiggish tradition in the Conservative Party, so kind of people are fine with that. But I can see the debate coming my way slowly, particularly as things move on. We find the ECB saying what it said about buying bonds. We've got the Federal Reserve saying they're going to print 40 billion a month until employment improves. So as these things are happening in the world and people can see that what I've been talking about is looking like it's coming to pass, increasingly colleagues in Parliament say to me privately, well actually, maybe we should be talking about a monetary role for gold. And so do academic economists and so on. Now personally, I'm not a gold bug. What I want is money that holds its value. It just happens that historically that's been gold. And there are other ideas out there, but I can distinctly see the debate coming my way. All of the members of the government, I think, know my view, partly because it's so unusual. So, particularly in the Treasury, they know what I think, and I see people taking an interest in what I have to say. That's reassuring. Can we stop what's about to happen? No. The intellectual obstacles, particularly amongst academic economists, are so great that there's no chance.
No, we saw Martin Wolf in the FT today, basically supporting Ben Bernanke in his idea of all this money printing in order to buy mortgage-backed securities.
Yeah.
Unlimited, at any price.
Well, there's a real problem with the trend of economic thinking. People talk about economics as if it was a science with really concrete, solid rules. Well, actually, maybe it is. The problem is some of those rules are just ignored by the contemporary mainstream of economics. One of them is you can't aggregate away the details that really matter. You and I are individuals and we make choices, and those choices change between us as individuals and within us as one person over time. And you can't aggregate away that detail that matters. And the second assumption they make that is wrong is that time doesn't matter when you make a short-run economic prediction. If they understood that time matters in economics, that is in life, then they would understand that injecting new money distorts the structure of the economy, and suddenly they'd think very differently about everything, and the whole base of economic thought would shift. But these guys have grown up with Keynes and with Friedman, and they're all schools of thought which use certain assumptions to make the maths work, and unfortunately those assumptions aren't true.
No.
And the result is a level of economic debate which actually isn't at all helpful, but which legitimises very clever people taking positions which actually, from my point of view, are mad.
Yes, that's very true. The problem is that the control or the monopoly on the control of the money supply is a very profitable business to be in.
True, absolutely true,
And
both
it
for government and for private
absolutely
banks.
right, yes. And there's too much vested interest to make a significant change. No party wants to really declare its belief and to get behind some of the proposals that you're suggesting. So do you think that this is something that you will be able to achieve, progress to achieve, in the party you're currently supporting?
Well, this is still a democracy, and people do actually get the politicians and political ideas that they vote for. Now, people are not very interested in some of the nuance that I've talked about, but look, as a politician, I really care about the condition of the public that I represent and that I serve. Whoever they vote for, it matters to me how prosperous they are. And at the moment, I believe that our current system of money is the single greatest source of injustice in our socio-economic system. Inflation is really harming the poor. It's widening wealth inequality in a way that is unjust. Now, there's a wide range of things to discuss in all of that, but when the public finally figure out that money printing and indeed the inflationary monetary arrangements that we had previously actually are harming the great bulk of people on ordinary incomes, if they figure that out, and the Cobden Centre's job is to help them do so, then we'll see a big change. If we can persuade academic economists that time matters, we could potentially see the current ruling ideology shift very quickly to a basis of honest money, a just economic system. And actually, I think it'd be very, very good for all of us. But I push these things because I think they're in the general interest, and I think if people come to agree, we will see a change.
Steve Baker, thank you very much.